Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Take two.
Take two. Oh my God, look, we're live.
Yeah, that's intriguing. I'm wondering if it's because I left beta and went to Studio Classic.
Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that possibly that's part of the problem because, they don't want you to use it. So let's make them not use it.
No, the new one, it kind of fucking weird for the first couple times you've tried playing with it, but I've been using it for about a month or so now, and it's actually not bad once you get the hang of it, kind of thing.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, we were live for a few minutes. Wasn't seeming to be working. Seems to be working now. Myself and Redbeard so far. I am drinking Anderson Craft Ale's Pomegranate Sour. What are you drinking again, sir?
I am having a can of New Ontario's new batch of Big and Beautiful Juicy IPA.
Nice, sir, nice. I actually almost went and did your tree topper thing.
Which tree topper thing? What do you mean?
The New Ontario crazy tree topper bullshit thing.
Oh, mixing it?
Yeah.
It's good mixed. Damn good mixed.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will be answering questions tonight. We will be doing some beer news stuff, drinking a few beers. Again, I don't stay on late anymore because I do have a lady I want to go spend my time with. And yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to post something over here on the side for you to read that I'm not going to say out loud anytime soon.
All right.
And yeah.
I don't need to know that.
No, this is the part you don't need to know.
You know what? Ha 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 ha. That's actually that is actually pretty fucking funny to me.
Yeah, it's not funny to me.
Yeah.
So when it comes to brewery news itself, there isn't all that much. Counterpart Brewing has opened up here in Niagara Falls on Stanley Avenue. Haven't been there yet. They've been open for 2 or 3 days. Opened with 5 beers. I hear that 2 of them are really good. One of them is sweet for style, but is okay. One of them is really good, but doesn't count because it was a collab with another brewery. And one of them is a butter bomb. I was told I shouldn't hold that against them if I go to try it because they just opened up. And my thing is, if you opened up and you put a butter bomb out, then I should hold it against you because you just shouldn't have put that beer out.
Yeah.
Now, again, I haven't been there to test it myself, so I don't know if this person was just over-exaggerating, but it is somebody that knows, and it's somebody that knows because of what they do in the industry. But, yeah.
Butter bomb.
So Winnipeg has a new brewery. Winnipeg just got a new brewery called Sucram Brewing. They opened up with the Desert Island IPA, the McGuffin California Common, the Cult Classic Czech Pilsner, and the Cosmos Sour Ale.
Cool. New brewery just opened in Sudbury recently.
Did it?
Yeah, I saw it. Like, aside from Stack, there's another brewery there now. It's very small from what I've heard. And Stack has a second location opening up. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I have not.
They're going to be located in what used to be Solid Gold, like a big fat strip bar in Sudbury. It's been closed for a few years. They're taking over the strip club building, and they're going to be brewing beer, possibly with some leftover yeast that they find.
So there is the Thornbury Village Cider House and Brewery is planning an expansion and a consolidation of production. So bringing both their production houses into the same building. They make the Peeler cider and King Brewery. So that's what they were originally when they became Thornbury Cider and Thornbury Beers. They keep harassing me to go and visit their cider house and all that. But I mean, Thornbury is not a very quick walk for this blind guy.
You know, could be nice little jog.
Yeah, nice little jog.
Two rollerblades.
We talked about that one when I was on last week. So that's all the new breweries that have opened this week. Just those two. What do we have over here? Oh, Dr. Turpin, rest in peace to the strip club. Yeah. Sudbury represent from Cthulhu.
Yeah.
And what was the name of the brewery? Do you remember?
Let me just. I'm sure I can find a second here. Can't remember. New Sudbury Brewery.
What the hell is that?
Spacecraft Brewery.
Oh, okay. Who the fuck put this here? Well, I'm gonna hope that was my my daughter and not my multiple degree holding fiance that wrote that. But look at how welcome is spelled. I'm gonna really hope.
That review has got the I and the E fucking mixed up too.
I didn't even notice that. I saw the welcome first. But yeah, I'm really hoping that my multi-degree holding future wife is not the one that wrote that.
Not only for the spelling, but just that's some terrible penmanship for an adult.
Hey, fuck you. You see my penmanship? Fuck yourself. Fuck your hat, sir.
Hey, you know what? If you had a marker and a big piece of paper like that, I feel like you're ready. If you're like doing like small, then yeah. But if something like that, you could probably make it look better than that.
Just I can do woodworking now.
I'm assuming it was a child.
I'm assuming it was the child too.
I found the article actually on Canadian Beer News for this brewery.
Okay, how old is it?
They opened January.
Well, no, I mean, like, when was the?
The article's January 3rd, so I'm assuming it was.
So we probably did read it, possibly.
Founded by Dave Carnoval and Melissa Mez, features an outer space and science theme in its branding and tap room decor. Their two house brewed beers, a Riesling IPA and a hazy Citra IPA, are currently on tap alongside a selection of other craft brands. They want to eventually have 7 of their own beers and 7 guest taps on hand. And they've got a menu. They're actually on Notre Dame, which is like one of the main drags in Sudbury. And if you they actually launched on January 4th with a promise that those who arrive dressed as a robot or alien will get a premium welcome beverage. I would have done that.
So would I. Who's hiring? What else do I have to talk about right now?
This is the most exciting BDU there's ever been.
Yeah, well, we do have a bunch of news stories, but none of them are all that intriguing either. I mean, we have which beer person is this? It says here a beer sommelier, which makes me really believe that they're a sommelier because that would be a Cicerone. Tries the new no-name beer. Oh, it's fucking Crystal Luxmore that wrote this. Okay, so she's just calling herself a beer sommelier now. Okay, so she tried the no-name beer. Let's see what she has to say about it. What do we have here? Okay, so she put this in. Okay, here's what she wrote about it. It looks golden and clear, but this beer foam game is weak. It doesn't stick around for long. Why is that important? Foam traps flavor. There's no fucking flavor in no-name beer. Shut the fuck up. So if you don't have game, you don't have flavor. Its body is a bit stickier and sweeter than the others, leaving a corn syrup note behind in the finish. Plus, the high carbonation is burp-inducing. And did I mention the bottles are chipped? I didn't have any chipped bottles, so that was probably just a bad luck thing. And all in all, I still don't think it's bad for what you were looking at. You were paying $6.60 for a 6-pack of beer.
Yeah, man. What do you expect? Like,
I think it could have easily competed with Blue or Coors Light or Canadian or anything like that. And she's saying it's the fourth, it's stickier, it's this, it's that. I didn't find any of that. And yeah, it tasted like corn, but you know what? So does Molson, so does Blue, so does.
Yeah, it was a beer. It was a cheap
and
beer.
Of course, at $6.60 for a 6-pack, of course it's going to taste like corn because it's going to be high fructose corn syrup.
Mm.
I mean, you're just buying it to get drunk. That's really what you're buying it for.
I'm sure some people out there probably actually enjoy the flavor.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. You want to enjoy the flavor? Yeah. Enjoy the flavor. Hey, Taking Back Sunday's making a beer.
Who is what now?
The band Taking Back Sunday.
I don't know that band.
You don't know that band?
I don't know that band. I got some random weird news here. The world's #1 bridge player has been banned from the game for doping.
For doping?
Yep.
Okay, I'm not even going to ask.
He fucking handed a 1-year ban for testing positive for synthetic testosterone and a female fertility drug at a competition. So he's basically trying to fucking get someone pregnant or something and up his sperm count, it looks like. And he got fucking banned from it.
But what does it matter? It's bridge.
That's what makes it funny. Apparently they're subjected to the same anti-doping rules as Olympic players. But they're playing bridge.
Oh, this is good news. Charlottetown brewery equipment manufacturer is reopening. So we did talk about this late last year. DME, or Diversified Metal Engineering, which was a decades-old craft brewing equipment manufacturer in Charlottetown, went into receivership last fall. It's reopening under new ownership. CIMC Enric Tank and Process Beverage, CETP, a subsidiary of CIMC Enric, has completed its purchase of the company and will reopen under the name DME Process Systems. So that is actually really, really nice because there was DME wasn't the only portion of that company that closed. They closed their factories in Canada, and they closed the 2 factories in the US. So there wasn't many places to get equipment still in Canada. There was actually a bunch of breweries that lost a lot of money because they were waiting on their equipment to get sent to them to start up. And when it went into receivership, guess what? You don't get your money back. You don't get your equipment.
Yeah, so I remember us talking about that when it happened.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they at least hold out and give some people stuff back.
Yeah, I know how that whole thing would work out in the end. Be interesting story to follow along.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, excited. Oh, their CEO's name is Ko Brink. Ko Brink.
That's an interesting name for someone to have.
Yep, so there's that. What other interesting news articles do we have going on? Toronto's about to get a first-of-its-kind mobile brewery. Fucking Toronto gets everything. If there's anyone talking in the comment section, we'll get there right after this.
Oh, we're still good.
Okay, so Toronto's giant shipping container market will be bringing the city's first-of-its-kind mobile brewery when it opens this spring. The intention behind Stacked, a market made up of literal shipping containers, is to take unused land and transform it into an ever-evolving cultural marketplace.
We have a sexton.
Oh, man, a sexton?
Cheers, people.
Sexton should go get a job here. This place looks like it's all of him. Actually, that kind of looks like a swastika.
Ooh.
But I'm going to screen share this because this
Ashley's extra in now.
You don't want that.
This is the aerial of this new shopping mall that's opening up. Look at that.
What?
That looks retarded.
It's a mall that's made entirely out of shipping containers.
Where?
In Toronto.
That's weird.
And like I said, they're going to have a mobile brewery.
Oh, it's retarded. It sounds like just like a tetanus shot waiting to happen. All of that old metal.
Okay, what the hell is this? Okay. Okay, we are excited to pair some of the best food offerings from Toronto butchers, cheese and charcuterie shops. They have been curated to match perfectly with Belgian Moon. Belgian Moon state-of-the-art brewery will allow... That's not a fucking craft brewery. Who the fuck wrote this shit? Who wrote this?
That's actually pretty funny. It doesn't say craft. It just says mobile brewery.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Yep, you're right.
It's funny though. It is funny like how much of this you can read and be like, oh, cool. And then like buried down there, it's like, oh yeah, you're making Blue Moon.
Well, that's just it, right? Oh, well, you're making Blue Moon. Yay. However, they are talking about making mango wheat, which could be interesting.
Ooh.
But yeah, so your state-of-the-art mobile brewery is Blue Moon.
There you go. It'd be awesome. It's going to be the best thing ever. Yeah.
Again, it's and that mall is amazing, though. You should go work there.
I'm not touching that shit. Fuck that.
I really think you should work in the upstairs stores, the ones that are the swastika part of the stores.
What do you have to like climb? Do you have to like climb the shipping containers to get up there?
There's probably little ladders inside.
They made a shipping container escalator.
Oh.
What are you drinking, Ash?
I am drinking a Lager Shed Darker.
Oh, I wonder where you got that.
I wonder where I got that.
Yeah, I don't know where you would have gotten that or who you would have been with when you got that. How are you liking
it? It's pretty good. It's very tasty. I had one earlier today while I was making dinner. Very easy drinking. It lacks a little bit in body, and but the flavors are fantastic. It's like it's a Schwarz beer. A little bit lighter than most. This is a little bit brown, like a reddish brown, but very tasty beer.
I'm going to be drinking Storm Stayed Patina.
What style is that?
That is their Irish Red.
Oh, the Irish Red. That looks like an Irish brown.
I'm having some of New Ontario's new batch of big and beautiful juicy IPA. They used more Eldorado hops this time. It's pretty good.
I'll give them this for the patina. Out of the glass, it doesn't smell that great. Out of the can, it smells like fucking cherry nibs and made it giving me a boner.
Cherry nibs?
Yep.
Weird things give you a boner.
See, I've made a red ale before that had that cherry-ish flavor, and I brought it to the Cayman Kettle for them to try to figure out where the fuck I got it from, because I had no idea where that cherry flavor came from. I thought maybe it was thrown off by the yeast or something like that, but yeah. Anyways,
hey, Corona is getting out of the they're still in the beer game, but they're doing something new. The Corona is tapping into the non-beer drink trend with 3 tropical lime malt beverages, and it's called Refresco.
Sounds like a disaster.
They have coconut lime, guava lime, and passion fruit lime.
So unfortunate.
They are going to be on the market later this month in California, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, Florida, North Carolina, and going nationwide early May. So maybe Joe can bring them to your bottle share.
Yeah, maybe you're not. Maybe
Ashley, you know you want to try it, man. Come on.
No, not that.
You want bad.
No.
Bad.
Am I?
A long-running Vancouver brewery faces mind-boggling rents in hunt for new home.
Ooh,
I think anybody in Vancouver is facing some pretty stupid rents.
Seriously, right?
Yeah. I'm going to have to pay twice as much as I'm paying now, says Storm Brewing founder as lease nears its end. So sky-high real estate prices aren't just affecting residential renters in Vancouver. The city's booming craft beer industry is also finding itself priced out. Local beer legend Storm Brewing, one of the city's longest-running craft breweries, has joined the ranks of those looking for a new home in Vancouver. The building just got sold for a lot of money, like $6.5 million, said James Walton, Storm founder and head brewer. Walton's 25-year lease is almost up. Going back into the rental market after more than 2 decades is no easy feat. Yeah, the lease you signed 25 years ago would have been a lot different than what it's going to be now.
Yeah. You all right there, Carrie?
It's my cat.
Oh, well, have fun cleaning up that mess.
Oh, she's like dry heaving or something, man. It's fucking making the weirdest sound.
Yeah, something's gonna come up pretty quick. It's gonna be nasty too.
So I'm gonna say this, okay? I'm gonna say this, and people get angry with me when I talk about this. People always ask me why I don't open my own brewery, and it's things like this. If I'm going to open my own brewery, I need to have about $7 to $10 million sitting in my pocket because I'm buying my building, so nobody can do that shit to me.
Yeah, that's true, right?
Like Amsterdam had that problem. Remember, the only reason they're not in their original building is because their lease ran up and they didn't get it renewed. The only reason Stonehammer ended up dying was the same type of thing. Their lease ran up. They didn't want to pay the money, so they closed. You know what? Fuck that shit. Somebody else doesn't get to control my business. If I'm going to have a business, I have a business.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I mean, when I was at Mash Paddle, I was talking to Teddy, and he's like, our building just got bought by a new owner, so I'm going to wait till we at least meet the new owner before I bring up some of the repairs that need to be done. And I'm like, and see, this is why you own your own building.
Yeah, exactly.
Cat didn't throw up. It's all good.
Cat's alive. That's good.
Didn't throw up. It's all good.
I mean, I don't get why you would go into something where you're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars on equipment, hundreds of thousands of dollars on ingredients, hundreds of thousands of dollars on bottles and cans and this and that, and let somebody else have control over your building.
Over the building itself, yeah.
Where after your lease, you might just not have this anymore and still owe money out.
I mean, setting up a brewery is not an easy thing.
No, you're right. It's not an easy thing
to have to break it down and then put it back together somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, look at the places around here that have started small and grown because they owned the buildings, right? Brimstone, Cayman Kettle. As much as I don't want to admit it, Dino and Niagara Brewing Company. He owns that building. He doesn't have to worry about anything happening there. Yeah. Fuck, he owns the entire street. He doesn't have to worry about anything happening there. Yeah, if he wants to expand, he just kicks somebody out of one of their leases. Bye. Yeah. The rest of the building's mine.
The Exchange, do they own that building, do you think?
No, they rent that building.
And for a lot of money.
They spend a lot of money per square foot.
Yeah. Well, that's on them. They want to... Oast House, I'd assume, owns that barn.
Oast House owns the barn. Silversmith bought the church.
Yeah.
Most of the breweries in the Niagara region actually own their buildings.
Yeah.
I don't know if Counterpart does. I know Plan B didn't and did at the same time because John's uncle owned the building.
Yeah. Huh.
Depends on where you want to build. Like when you're saying $7 to $10 million, like Highlander, they've got a massive fucking chunk of land there, and I think they spent like maybe $5 on that giant brewery.
Yeah.
The land was given to them by the town, though. So.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's a nice incentive to set up business. Holy shit!
Nickelbrook just spent over $8 million on the brewery they're building in the Niagara region.
Have they broke ground on that yet?
I don't know if they've broken ground yet or not, to be honest.
I don't think so.
Next beer is from Storm State. It is Influx.
Influx. Look at that. What is that?
This is their session IPA.
Oh. How sessionable? What's the ABV?
4.5.
So, who'd I have? I had a fucking session ale from somebody recently, and it was like 3.5% or something, and it was actually pretty good.
Was it Muskoka?
Yeah, it's the ebb and flow you had.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was an actual India session ale. It was something else. I think it. Who the fuck was it by?
It wasn't IPA number 10, was it?
You know what? That might have been what I'm thinking of right now, because we talked about that on the thing.
Yeah, we talked about it last night.
Yeah, we talked about it, so that might be what I'm thinking of for some reason.
Oh, they're calling it a nano IPA, some dumb.
Yeah, that's what it was, the nano IPA.
Don't give me that shit. Well, you know what? To be fair, it hasn't been released yet. We don't know what the price is.
Yeah, again, they're like
yada yada.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If they charge $5 for that beer, I'm gonna have to stand like several. I have to put my microphone like on the other side of the kitchen just so my whole video isn't just completely clipped out because I'm going to yell so much.
I thought you can't use price in your examination there.
Oh yeah, hey.
I still won't affect my rating. My overall rating is still
Okay.
not,
You need the microphone somewhere else, but it won't affect your rating.
no, it won't. But the rating is the flavor of the beer. That's how my rating system goes. And I'll take a half mark off for ingredients or date if they're not there, because that's just the way I roll. But if it's expensive, not expensive, it's like if they charge $5 for it and it turns out to be like the best fucking beer I've ever had, even though it's 3.5%, who knows? But still, that's just how I roll.
There you go. And you've been very consistent with that.
Thank you.
Fuck you.
There's two sides to every coin.
I am the asshole, remember. I am the asshole of the group.
I wouldn't say that. I'd say it'd be me, because while the Senators are playing...
You're talking about the Belleville Senators?
The Ottawa Senators?
No, that's the Belleville Senators playing in the NHL.
Yeah, like, I remember I was, like, checking to see if the Islanders were still, like, first place in the Metro. I would just go, how the fuck did the Senators have a worse record than the Kings? And I found out, like, they nuked their team.
Yeah, there's no reason to, because they don't get their fucking first round pick this year.
I don't see how this makes you a dick though. Like, ooh, the Senators are playing, and you're wearing some that
because my team's playing the Senators.
Well, there you go. So you're wearing an anti-Senator team or something.
He's wearing the Islanders, and the Islanders actually have one of the Senators' old goalies, who was the goalie of the Senators, but he was fucking battling depression and alcoholism, and they said, "Fuck it, we don't want to deal with you," so they let him loose. And then he went to two other teams that didn't deal with him either, and then he went to New York, and New York's like, "Hey, let's try and help you."
We shouldn't be doing good. That's how good our coach is, because literally the players that we've got.
Right there, where you're like,
that we didn't need.
It's not we. It's not we. You're not on the team. You're not on the team. That's not that whole thing. I don't get. I don't sports and the people, how they get all like fanatic about it, and it's like it's just a bunch of people playing. Like, you're not helping them. You're cheering them on, maybe, but you're not like.
I'm helping drinking this Anderson Stout.
I don't know. Sports are funny.
Now, you know what I find hysterical about the Anderson Craft Brewery? Well, Anderson Craft Ales, just how boring these cans are. Like, they're beautiful. I like them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like them.
Ooh, a sour.
Just how boring and plain these are. But then you look at the brewery labels from when he lived in New Brunswick, when he was the head brewer at La Brassière de Petit Saut, and the fucking labels have so much shit all over them. Like, hey, there's a car with a fish coming out of it, and a guy with a and then here's my brewery.
You know what though? Those labels, I kind of like when breweries have like the very kind of distinct theme. But one thing I'd do if that was them, the stout, the colors would be reversed. I'd make the can black and the lettering white, and on the sour, whatever's in that sour, what's it say, pomegranate sour? I'd make the can the color of a pomegranate. Yeah. Still keep the exact design, but just give the can some color. That's what I do.
Jeez, I thought Genesee's can design was like boring and basic. Like, to me, that design looks like pong beer. Like,
the other brewery. The other brewery I had 2 beers from tonight, they do like the same thing, except theirs are at least colorful.
That looks like it was made off of like Microsoft Publisher.
I'm pretty sure it probably was. That's okay, though.
Like Photoshop? No, Microsoft Publisher.
My logo is a black square and a red square. Nobody can hit me with a fucking copyright infringement, okay? It's a fucking square. Like,
it's a square.
I think Gene Simmons will find a way. Because apparently he trademarked the initials OJ for orange juice and the $sign.
Well, we had that conversation way back when I first did my very first video with with Peter Chiodo, the owner of Flying Monkeys. Because we sat down with him and he was talking about his brewery, right? And he's like, when we originally opened, we were the Simcoe Steam Brewery. And we're like, oh, well, why did your name change? He goes, oh, well, we got a phone call from Fritz Maytag, and Fritz called us and he goes, hey, I hear you have a brewery. He goes, yeah, it's called Simcoe Steam. He goes, okay, well, I have the trademark on the word steam, so you got to change your name or I'm suing you. I'm like, what the fuck's next? He goes, oh, yeah, the word the. Like,
does somebody have like a blender going in the background? Like the background audio just keeps going like crazy.
that's something going on with the Pennsylvanian.
Oh, that might be my fan from my PC.
Wow, that's that fan needs to be replaced.
It's brand new.
My PC is like literally, I want to say like 3 feet to my left, and there are 16 fans running in there right now. And
You have 16 fans?
yeah, and then the case and my
case isn't like a silent case though. Nor did I get silent fans.
apparently.
So what's going on? Everybody read what I had written over there on the side?
If you haven't, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it.
What side? You're talking about YouTube or
No.
Google? Oh.
And if you do read it, keep in mind it was put in the side chat for a reason. Chad does not want everyone to know.
Read that new one there, Carrie.
No, I refuse.
What?
It's an adventure.
I was told it is going to be the mother that's driving me, so.
Sure as hell I'm not.
Carrie, Ashley, you sure you don't want to go?
I don't need an accident in my car. You kidding me? Fuck that.
It'll be in a bag.
Eggs can rip?
It'll be in a cup in a bag.
No, thank you.
We can go to bench afterwards.
for a pale beer.
I'll buy you a beer for having to deal with that being in your car.
No.
You buying me like a keg of beer for putting on my car.
Yeah, you should see what I read on the side. No one needs a brewery.
I'm boycotting the side chat.
That's what's going on. April 11th at 10:30.
I'm apparently going to see the Tea Party.
Oh,
in
April 12th is the beer festival. Are you coming with me there, Ashley?
Oh, the Project Brew, right?
Yeah. And for that, let's get on that too. So May 25th, 2019, the Albino Rhino Beer Festival, the 6th annual. All proceeds going to the Ronald McDonald House of South Central Ontario. Currently 32 breweries, 8 food vendors, 3 added vendors. There will be shirt printing on site. On site. Ooh.
What about face painting?
No face paint. I did have a battle. The Backyard Axe Throwing League asked me if they can set up a tent. I'm like, no. We're not throwing axes and drinking beer. That's going to be horrible for my insurance.
That's the worst combination.
Yeah. Like, I you know what? Overall, though, like, as long as the company that's doing it knows what they're doing, and, you know, like, it's as long as no one is at the end you're throwing the axe at, it's kind of, you know, it's.
Yeah, that.
But no, I get you, though. I completely
People
understand.
throwing the axe when they're drunk and idiots.
So again, like you'd have to basically like the bouncer or something, you know, kind of judge people. Like if somebody walks in the tent, like, what the fuck is throwing? Like, no, you're not throwing an axe. Leave. You know, just be able to judge how drunk someone is. Basically, have a
Like
breathalyzer at the door.
Like that, like one chick that your friend Paul had to like lift over a fence.
That was amazing, actually. Yeah. So last year we did have some removals from the festival for the first time ever. And the best removal ever was this girl. She was gross too. She was this older lady. She kept hitting on everybody too. And Paul's telling her she's too drunk to be there, and she's like trying to grab him and stuff. And he's like, no. Puts his hands on each of her arms, picks her up, puts her over the fence, and walks away. It's like, we're done. Not doing this.
That's awesome.
We did kick out the Maple Ruski's brother.
Oh, I thought you kicked out the Maple. Oh no, he left on his own accord.
Yes, he left on his own accord after his brother got kicked out.
Wise choice.
I still can't believe I didn't get kicked out of the King City Beer Festival a couple of years when I went there. Like, I got home and I have no memory of like the last three fucking the three reviews. I just straight up, I'm like, I can't put these online. I can't. I'm sitting there talking about the beer and this and that, and the rep is behind me, just looking like, how are you still allowed to be here? Like, I got us kicked out of Barnstormer on the way home. Fucking making like, I can't remember why, but like we had our food. I remember the pizza was delicious, and for some reason, I banged my head on the table, and it was like a show-stopping bang. Like, I didn't mean for it to be that loud, and like everything just stopped, and I like looked around, and everybody's just staring at me. I'm like, yeah, that was bad.
Basically, you didn't mean to pass out so hard.
No, I know. It was like so Marcel and his girlfriend. Somebody had said something, and I was like, man, bang! Because sometimes I do that. And yeah, it was fucking loud.
Sometimes I do that.
Oh, dude, when I was a kid, I used to they'd come over and be like, break this over your head, break this over your head, and I always did. It was just done.
So the great thing about the break this over your head comment there, and we've told this story before too, but might as well do it again, right? So Lachlan, or the Reverend, is infamous for eating a urinal puck. Now, the way that it went down was I used to be a bouncer at Red Square, and I was also the manager at Red Square. Well, Paul owned Red Square, and we're sitting there. It's after hours. It's like 3:30 in the morning. We're all drunk out of our mind, and Paul and Lachlan are fighting back and forth. And Paul goes, hey, Lachlan, go eat a urinal puck, thinking Lachlan's drunk enough to do it. Lachlan looks at him and he goes, I'll eat a urinal puck if you break that bottle over your head. And before he finished, like he was that bottle by the time Paul already broke the bottle on his head. Like, go eat the puck. And it was that night where we walked into the guy's washroom, and he looks in the urinals, and his problem was the puck was too small. He goes, that's too small, I want a new one. It wasn't the fact that it was pissed on or in the urinal. It was too small.
Or the fact that it's like pure fucking chemicals that you should not put. Like, how is he still alive?
Well, this is the thing. Okay, so he eats about a half of the puck before he stops, and he feels horrible, and he walks home. He fell asleep in a bus shelter. He woke up to about 3 inches of yellow foam in the bus shelter.
This is making me like literally feel sick to my stomach.
He started a new job that day and had to go home sick because he was puking up yellow foam everywhere. Goes to the doctor. The doctor told him one bite should have killed him. The only reason he's still alive is most likely the amount of alcohol that was in his system.
It kind of diluted the chemicals or something, probably. Wow, that's fucked up, man. Years ago when I used to work at a restaurant here in town, again, we were sitting around after hours, and it was me and some cooks and the bartenders and like a couple of their friends or something, and the one friend was adamant that he could take a spoonful of the contents of the grease trap and eat it. And he was like, the only reason in the end he refused to do it was because we cleaned it up with bleach. Aside from that, he was going to do it.
That was the reason why he wouldn't do it, is because you guys wouldn't bleach.
Yeah.
Who's this guy?
His name? What the fuck was his name?
He's not a friend or family member?
No, I haven't seen him in years. He was just, I remember another night with some other friends at an apartment hanging out, and I just like watched a video or something or learned about like a CD. You know, it's bad to scratch a CD.
Sure.
Especially on the top.
Yes. Because that is like, if you scratch the top, that reflective surface from the other side is now gone. That CD is fucked. You cannot, a scratch CD on the right, on the like the shiny side, that can be fixed. You just resurface it, whatever, with one of those machines, and it's gonna be fixed. Other side, and I told this guy that, and he's like, he looked at me like I just told him, I don't know, some just like completely fucking blown away. And he's like, "Are you kidding me?" And grabs my friend's like CD that was sitting there because that's what it brought it up, and puts it down and just fucking proceeds to scratch the fuck out of the label side, ruining the CD. Yeah, it was. The guy was a fucking moron.
Was this the same guy that wanted to eat the race trap?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can't
he's a
remember what the fuck his
special
name
interest.
was. He was just. And he was like so cocky about like he thought he was right about everything, but he obviously was not right about several things.
Has natural selection sort of removed him from the gene pool yet, or
Again, I haven't seen him in years.
so maybe
Maybe that's why I haven't seen him in years.
Or maybe it's the fact he lives in North Bay.
maybe he thought one day that fighting a bear was a good idea, and nature took care of it.
So again,
Come on, Chet. Come on, back up what you just said, Chet. What do you even know about North Bay?
Oh, it's out in the middle of nowhere, so I assume it's like one cabin and another cabin between 20 miles.
Not the middle of nowhere at all.
it's the gateway to Northern Ontario.
Yeah.
Hi, Marcel.
Population-wise. Fuck.
No, I keep like these guys like keep on like saying like it's like way out in the middle of nowhere and stuff like that. So I just think that's
Like I'm 6 hours away from Chad, but I'm only 3 hours away from Toronto. There's places like if I want to go north,
right.
if I want to go
away from Toronto, you're only
I just always assume that you live in none of it. So
I might be 4 hours away from Toronto. Then.
I just how the way these guys talk, I just assume you live in none of it.
Are you wearing my headphones?
No.
What are you doing with my headphones? I love you.
Chad, why is your shirt progressively getting unbuttoned?
It's not unbuttoned, it's zipped.
Okay. Wow.
It's my chest showing off.
If anyone's gonna make that's how you make a Hawaiian shirt more tacky. You put a zipper on it instead of buttons.
Exactly. No, the zipper. There is buttons. There's two buttons. Okay, there's a button here and there's a button at the bottom.
So it doesn't come all the way undone?
No, so you can do this and hide the zipper.
Oh wow.
It's a Hawaiian shirt for blind people, so they don't have to do up all the buttons.
Well, that makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah.
I bet you know what I would.
Unless that's the
Chad,
romper.
Chad, go! Come on, pull out. We know you have a Velcro one. Let's see the Velcro one.
I don't have a Velcro one. I wish I did. However,
right.
I never really undo them. I just undo the top button and then I just slide them over my head.
Yeah. I am cracking open a can of Rainbow in the Dark Winter Rye IPA from Redline Brewhouse.
Oh, that's one of the freebies you got?
Yeah,
that
baby.
That you won?
I won. I never win anything. It was so fucking cool.
No, you never get any free beer either, right?
I get a decent, like not, like I don't know. I'm sure people get more than I do. I have had some, but still, like I'd wait to win. That's just awesome.
Hey,
and the fact that it had Invictus, man, I've been
I'm
wanting to try that.
This was fixed.
It was the last one. Like they had 2 like giveaways every week for 5 weeks. And it was like the second giveaway of the last week that I finally won. I had entered every single one, and I finally won the last one.
Nice. Hey, Chad, funny thing. Guess who got a free beer or a beer mail today?
Who?
Mr. Rob.
Oh, weren't we just talking about that?
Yep. And guess where he got it from?
Where?
Guess who sent him free shit today?
Who's Rob? Who is this person?
Bellwoods.
No. Drunk Pokeroo.
Okay.
More hype or less hype?
Sean and Ed's.
Oh, Sean and Ed's, eh?
And guess what beer he got?
All the big bottles?
He got the same fucking big bottle I bought today. The rye IPA I bought, he got a free one. So funny. What are the fucking odds?
Well, that's like his favorite and least favorite brewery at the same time.
Okay. Redline sent this beer to me because it was old. They wanted to get rid of it. That's actually
really?
pretty funny. Yeah, this is like malty as fuck. I've had this before. I bought this a year or 2 ago at the brewery, and it was fucking delicious. This is not the same at all. It's drinkable, but like, holy fuck, that's malty. That's funny.
What kind of style is it?
It's a winter rye IPA.
Oh, another rye IPA.
And I remember like last time it was like again, I had it a couple years ago, so they could have maybe this is the way they want it to taste. They could have changed the recipe, but I don't think so. I remember having it and it was nice and bright and kind of juicy, and then that rye flavor was intermingled with it all nicely, and
A little spicy.
it was really tasty. There's no date on it, so
Yeah.
Okay, last beer on the night for me, guys, is going to be Blood Light.
Blood Light. There you go.
I wonder who that's from. Maybe some Bloody Brothers?
Maybe some Bloody Brothers.
I need to get a beer mail from them. I need to do an order.
Their beer is fairly well priced. Their shipping is fairly well priced, and their beer is damn good.
Yeah.
They ship to the States, or are they from the States?
No, they're from Ontario.
I had the only beers I had by them were the ones I had at your house, and they were pretty fucking tasty.
Fantastic.
I remember them being really good.
I have a nitro sour from them upstairs that I have to drink.
See, a nitro sour, I might enjoy. Like we're talking about that in the thing last night. Like nitro beers, generally, I'm not a fan. I don't like flat beer.
Yeah, you get really angry about it too.
I really don't like is nitro IPAs.
I've never.
That
but like, again, if it's juicy enough, that could kind of be okay because, like,
Well, you need that carbonation to cut the hops.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, a flat IPA just sounds bad.
I wouldn't mind.
Like,
I wouldn't mind trying one. Like, I've never tried. The only ones I've ever tried are nitro stouts, and overall, I've never had one that I really liked because, again, like I can sit there and watch that cascade effect all day long. It's fucking beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
But the actual, like the flavor is sometimes okay, but just the complete lack of effervescence in your mouth, I can't. It doesn't work for me at all.
and also stouts are pretty heavy to begin with, so without like the carbonation, would it just make it heavier?
I just like again, we're doing is it next week or the week after? Like next week is fucking Kilkenny, and then whenever we do the vanilla porter from the Polar Sex Juice, I'm gonna bring that score so down, and Chris is gonna be so mad at me.
When are you doing that?
The next couple weeks, I think it's soon.
I'm off for a while still, so I'll see if I can get this stuff.
Okay, next week is Kilkenny. You should have no problem getting that somewhere.
I don't really want to buy a 4-pack of it. I'll see if I can find a single somewhere.
Is it only available in a 4-pack?
I think so.
If you have to buy a 4-pack, buy a 4-pack. Don't be a bitch.
No, I will not buy a 4-pack.
Buy 4, drink 1, give the other 3 away or something. Come on.
No.
Maybe I'll toss one in your mailbox if I have to buy a 4-pack. Are we going to do the gauntlet that night, Carrie?
Oh yeah, they were talking about something like that, weren't they? What didn't we thought up some other gauntlet, didn't we? What the fuck was it?
What kind of gauntlet are you doing? Are you doing a Guinness gauntlet?
We're
They
going to do
probably do Guinness Gauntlet, but with Kilkenny is my guess.
No, I
We're
think
going to do Harp, Guinness, and
Kilkenny.
yeah,
Gosh.
Smithwick's. Was that the other one?
Smithwick's is the 4th one that's usually sold, yeah. But I mean, sometimes you can get them in a mixed Irish pack where you get all 4 of them, or sometimes you have to buy them separately.
It's actually pretty tasty. I like that one, and Harp is okay. Kilkenny and Guinness, don't like either one of those beers.
Now,
Nitro.
Polish Sex, because a certain person calls it, is a weird one for me because I had it right out of the fermenter and it was fucking heavenly, and it wasn't quite as good when it was canned.
You know what? Like, I will admit, I think the one and only time I actually had it was when I reviewed it, and that was back when I was using my fucking shot glass and drinking out of the can. So I'd pour like 1 shot of the beer into the shot glass and drink it. And then the rest of it was like, you're not supposed to drink a nitro fucking beer out of the can. That's incredibly not right. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So
This is incredibly not right.
yeah.
That's all right.
I can't remember what I actually switched to using with my glass. But
Who was it that did a review probably about a year ago?
check. You need to put your computer in a separate room or something, man. Your fan is like a fucking hurricane.
Just mute yourself when you're not talking, buddy.
He needs to stop watching porn so it stops running.
Who was it that probably about a year ago they did a review, and they just it was a can of something nitroed, and they completely disregarded what the can said. And they just poured it like a regular beer, and it was just like, meh. Was it you, Chad?
Probably.
Shit, who was it?
I know I've done that before.
I had a Jamie actually gave me a can of, I guess from Jackass Brewing, their peanut butter nitro stout. That did not work out well for me. No.
Oh, it's gonna bother me now.
I don't understand why people would want to do gauntlets, because I did the Guinness gauntlet before after seeing you do it, Chad, and that was terrible.
Yeah, Paul did it. Paul did it really well.
That was before I saw that. I felt like not as bad when I saw, because like I basically did the same thing as Paul did, like spew.
Yeah, but did you finish it in like 20 seconds and then spew a few minutes later?
No.
Too bad, like, well,
No, I
even-
finished the entire thing and then I spewed, but it took me longer than.
Could you even? What would happen if you tried to like do the pop the thing and shotgun a can of Guinness? What would happen? How would that even?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I'm sure someone's done it.
It shouldn't happen because the nitrogen is what the nitrogen does is it eats the CO2. Like it is carbonated beer, but that sound you hear when you pop the top, that's all the CO2 escaping. So you shouldn't have it fly down your throat because it's not pressurized per se the same way.
Yeah, but even like a normal beer, you open a normal beer.
So Guinness is a nitro beer then?
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as you crack the top on any beer,
not that bad.
The pressure's pretty much instantly gone anyway. So isn't it just basically the gravity of the beer put in your mouth at that point?
It's actually the air pressure. It's the air going out through like the top hole, forcing you down while you're like, guzzling beer.
I can see it helping, but I don't feel like it would really be. It's not coming out like crack open a can of beer and hold you're not feeling any wind coming out of there. You know what I mean? Like it's not like that much wind air pressure. I don't think. Doesn't seem like anyway. I don't know.
This seems like a scientific experiment that needs to be solved.
Yeah, if I had a can of Guinness, I would try it right now.
Somebody go buy me a 4-pack of Guinness. I'll do it.
Oh yeah, they can deliver.
Actually, yeah, you can definitely get some beer delivery service in Welland.
If I had any spare cash, I would fucking make the call and have it shipped to you right now. But I'm broke till Tuesday when I got my next good old EI check.
Sadly, I just have this.
Taxes.
Yeah, I have this grape malt liquor. Since it's a fermented beverage without the hops, so I guess technically wine's grape malt liquor.
Where the fuck do you find this shit?
It's not no, it's port wine. I'm just bullshitting saying it's like beer.
Okay.
As a joke.
Port wine. My God, man.
Why are you buying port?
Because I like port.
Like port? Wow.
Why do you like port?
Okay, let's do this. Very sweet and 19.5% alcohol by volume. That's why.
You know what? I bet my 18.2 bottle of Invictus is better.
But no, I typically like a lot of sweet wines, and that's why I like port. And it's a tawny port too, so it's actually somewhat bitter.
Again, like we're joking around, making fun of you, but drink what you want, man. I got.
Well, yeah. Well, my 100%. Friends look at me weird because my favorite beers are sours.
Doesn't everyone just look at you weird all the time? I love you, man. I'm kidding.
Until my friend Jason comes by, and then he's even more weirder than I am. So they just look at him, and I look normal.
Nice.
That's why I'm friends with him. Despite him being a freaking moron. Sorry, Chad. Random thing going back to kind of the Invictus. That is going to be, I'm pretty sure, without question, the strongest beer I've ever had. What is the strongest beer you guys have had? I'm sure. I'd imagine, Chad, you probably had something stronger in your journeys.
Snake venom.
That is like the 40 or 60% or something?
The strongest beer in the world, yeah.
Jesus.
And what is the ABV on that one?
I think it was 61, 60.
Yeah, that's just outrageous.
It was
How
more.
about,
By the sorry.
how about you, Ashley Sexton?
I haven't had anything crazy above 14. I don't think.
I also had Tactical Nuclear Penguin from Brewdog.
What's that one?
20s or 30s.
Wow. How about you, Chet?
Wow, he's saying like, wow, I haven't had anything past 14. That makes me feel even more like inadequate because the most I've ever had was like Molson 10 point thing out of like 10.5% or whatever the hell it is.
My God, man.
What
Jesus.
is it? 10 point what?
10.1.
10.1. Yeah, that's as far as I went with a beer.
Sparkle Puff that I've been drinking lately has more alcohol than that by 0.1%, but still.
Well,
Is it
I'm
12.1?
10.1.
Yeah,
10.2 is Sparkle
I'm
Puff.
from Pennsylvania. Whenever it's above a certain AVB, you can only get it at a liquor store, and then it's considered a wine.
Weird. I know that like here in Ontario,
That's
I can't remember. Mike from New Ontario was telling me in order to brew a beer above, I think it's 13 or 14%, you have to also have a distiller's license on top of your brewery's license. Which is
with
fucking
us,
crazy.
With us, you have to have a winery's license.
It's 12.
So yeah,
I believe 12.5, but you can go above 12.5 by residual alcohol being pulled in through a barrel.
Oh yeah?
Yes, that's why things like Invictus are allowed, because the extra 6% alcohol is all from the barrel.
How is that extracting that much alcohol from a barrel?
They use they do Solera aging, right? So it's a whole shit ton of barrels, and they're all fresh.
Huh.
And that's as opposed to what Solera aging. I never heard that term before.
We'll look it up.
Hello to Greasy Gap in the chat. Cheers, Albino Rhino. The hair is cool. Looks curly. It's Chad's hair doesn't look curly at all. What are you talking about?
Not right now, but yeah.
Oh no, it becomes fucking ridiculously curly.
yeah.
I know that the wife over there doesn't like that I had to shave the chest. She still yells at me about that.
What do you mean, your second shirt?
Yes.
Holy shit! The Senators and Islanders are tied at the end of the second.
What did you say, Alicia?
Son of a bitch!
You did. You
Again,
did.
Chet, it's just a game, dude. It's just a game. It's okay. It's just a game. It's just a game.
Yeah, but I don't want the Caps getting number one in the Metropolitan.
Again, why not? Who cares?
Because Caps fans are annoying.
They just
One of
be
my
nice.
friends is a Caps fan. What?
Anyway, Redbeard, Solera aging is like fractionally aging stuff, so that it's a mixture of a bunch of different barrels, a bunch of different ages. It's kind of what they do when they do like blended Scotch and stuff.
Okay. And the fresher the barrel, the more
The fresher the barrel, like they won't rinse a barrel, right? They'll just use it, and what comes out of it is what comes out of it.
So there's probably still like some actual fucking bourbon in that
And
barrel.
if you haven't like planed the fucking planks and then reburnt them, you still have alcohol in them.
So it's kind of like how with port wine they kind of fortify it with brandy with like the alcohol that's still in the barrels. They're fortifying the beer with whatever's alcohol is in the barrel.
Yeah. So you said that it's tied right now?
According to this, like I'm not. Oh, never mind. That's not showing it.
Jesus Christ, blinding me.
2-2, yeah. Kachuk and Lindbergh for Ottawa.
Oh, here's some random, interesting kind of beer news. I'm on Facebook here. Collective Arts, 4 hours ago, posted that they teamed up with their friends at Crosby Hop Farm and Finback Brewery to brew a double IPA with Strata, Amarillo, and Comet as part of a global collaboration of craft brewers. 36 breweries from 15 countries will be debuting their collaboration brews in Denver at the CBCs this year.
So they're all brewing the exact same beer?
It doesn't really say that. maybe just like they could maybe just be using those 3 hops in different varieties or something. I have no idea. I'd hope it's not like 30. That'd be fucking stupid. Like, oh, let me have this. Like, oh, 36, and it's like, oh, this one's, oh yeah, it's a tiny bit different. Oh, that's a tiny bit different. Like I don't want that.
It'd be a good experiment.
It'd be an interesting way to discern which breweries don't know what the fuck they're doing when they show up with something that's completely different and tastes gross compared to everyone else.
Cool thing.
It's kind of a lot of pressure actually to put on them because like everybody probably wants to make the best one. So it could be all right. Like if they do actually manage to make at least a few kind of drastically different tasting examples with that same kind of theme, and they are all pretty good, that could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I won't be going to Denver to try any of them though. So.
No, I'm not going to fucking Denver.
Yeah.
Why not?
If I was rich and had money to just go,
I'd go to Denver.
I'd be going to fucking a craft beer festival in fucking a different country or state or province every goddamn day.
No, what you'd be doing is going to the fucking craft beer festival in Ridgeway in May.
Is that where yours is this year?
That's where mine is every year.
Okay, I thought it was. I didn't know it was in Ridgeway.
Right. That's right. You did not move it to Welland.
Like again, of course, I would be going there, but up until then, I would be going all over the place to a bunch of other ones.
Speaking of which, I need to plan ahead because I should have applied for my passport, which I haven't done. So I might miss it this year again.
Do you not have any way to jumpstart? Like here in North Bay, anyway, there was a week or two ago where the MP, like the guy from Parliament that's here in town, he had a thing at the mall where you go there and you fill out your application, and it like jumpstarts the process, and you get your fucking passport within like a week or something like that. That's how I did mine originally. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
really.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything's slow in the States, so who knows?
And Chet was a bad boy when he was younger.
Yeah, but one of my friends has a record. He was able to get across the border. So
we aren't as ridiculous as you guys when it comes to letting Americans into Canada. I don't think. But going into America, it's fucking retarded. Like, oh, you smoked a joint fucking 15 years ago. You're never coming in our country. Like, go to hell.
Yeah, but unless you're Jim Cornette, because Jim Cornette had a problem getting into the Canadian
Oh, I'm not denying. I'm sure that some people have had experience trying to get into
I think it just depends on where you go. But I hear, like, the Detroit, what's the town?
Windsor.
In Windsor. I hear that border is actually really lax.
Oh, yeah?
Oddly enough.
Is that where you go across the Ambassador Bridge or whatever it is?
Yeah, it's the Ambassador, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only time I ever... No, I think I must have gone across that bridge twice then, because I've been... But I wanted... Yeah. When we went to... Because we went through Montreal or something that time. We went to... When I was in grade 8, my family, my mom, my stepdad, my sisters, and I went to Florida for a week or something like that, and we drove and went across... I remember the Ambassador Bridge, I'm pretty sure from then. But then in grade 10, I went on a school trip to New York.
Oh.
And we went through Montreal or something. And I feel like we might have crossed maybe a bit more to the east.
Yeah,
maybe?
that would have been through Maine.
Yeah. I slept most of that trip. And I remember we had it was a nice coach bus with TVs and stuff on it. And the fucking bus driver, we were watching Die Hard with a Vengeance. And it was getting into the best part, fucking John McClane's walking around with the sign that says, I hate,
That Samuel Jackson goes up.
and the whole thing, and that's where the same all the motherfuckers and the fucking swears start coming in. And the fucking bus driver muted the fucking thing. He's like, what's going on? I'm sorry, I can't drive with this kind of language. It makes me drive angry. It was like, are you kidding me right now?
Angry.
Everybody was.
What do you expect when you have Samuel Jackson in a movie?
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotta let the man do what he does best.
Also, hashtag Jeremy Irons is badass in that movie.
Yeah.
That's the villain, if anybody that doesn't know what
yeah.
Jeremy Irons is.
I'm gonna say he's not as good as Hans Gruber.
Oh no, he's not as good as Alan Rickman, but he's pretty dang close.
The guy in the second movie sucked. The second movie villain.
Well, there's a couple of them, but yeah, they're not memorable at all. It's just like I just remember there's two villains in the second one.
Yeah, well, everything past the third one. Actually, the first one that came out after Live Free or Die Hard, I think. And
Yeah. The most recent one is A Good Day to Die Hard, which is terrible. That one's awful.
Like John McClane. John McClane has become the Terminator in that movie, and it was like the most unbelievably blatant ad for Mercedes. The entire movie was so full of Mercedes fucking shots and product. It was fucking horrible. And he's like driving one. He's like on the freeway scene or whatever. And he's driving one Mercedes.
Mercedes are safe because John McClane is bulletproof in a Mercedes.
Yeah. He's driving them over top, like as if like when you're in gridlock, on the highway. This movie's assuming that everybody is basically touching bumpers because he's like driving his truck up and over the fucking traffic.
In New York City, they basically are, but
it was
it's
so
80 mile an hour bumper to bumper traffic, which is scary as hell.
The movie was so bad. So
we didn't get to one last news story that we're going to have to get to because this is something amazing anyway. An Elmira company helped Bose Brewery save 395,000 liters of beer per year.
How?
So stopping food waste before it happens is the subject of a brand new guide being launched across North America on Thursday by the Commission for Environmental Cooperation. The commission tapped experts from across Canada, the United States, and Mexico, including the Elmira-based Enviro Stewards, who recently helped an Ottawa brewery reclaim $720,000 worth of beer that they were pouring down the drain.
Ooh.
Now that brewery has become an international case study on practical examples of how to prevent food waste. On a tour of Bose Brewery near Ottawa, Enviro Stewards president Bruce Taylor heard the brewers talk about how they divert spent grains from the brewing process to cattle feed. But there was no mention of how much beer the brewery was pouring down the drain. Taylor did the math and found out the brewery was losing 10% of its product to the sewer.
How though?
So, yeah. They found 2 ways to increase the yield of Bose beer. That included improving the way the company transferred beers from tanks to packaging, how they pulled the beer out of the fermenters, thus saving more beer from the yeast, and the way they do bottles and kegs.
Interesting.
So more,
but don't make Ashley buy a Bose beer. She won't be happy.
Hashtag drunk nice, because there's rats in the sewers that are drinking it and they're drunk.
They're not drunk
Hashtag
anymore.
Drunk rats.
Yeah, now they're all in.
Yeah, now the rats are in like rehab and Alcoholics Anonymous.
Withdrawal and shit. They're all like,
I bet you though, since Steve gave shares of the company to all of his employees, they're all looking at this going, oh, almost $1 million extra a year? Cha-ching!
Yeah,
yeah. Well, again, like food waste is a pretty fucking big problem, not just here, but like all over the place. Like, just the amount of shit that gets thrown out every single day by grocery stores and stuff, man, is fucking crazy. It's crazy.
Not that it goes bad, but just because it's just out of date and it's not bad yet.
Yeah. Or sometimes they'll throw it away like a day or two before because they have a new product. They got to bring it in. So this is old. Get rid of it. No one's going to buy the old stuff with the new stuff. Like even myself, like when I go to the grocery store and buy a loaf of bread or something, I will like not like root around, but like move a couple aside, reach into the far back, find the freshest one that's going to last the longest.
Yeah, and not even just produce. Like when I was at college, like since people didn't have the room to like put things in like their cars to take back home, I literally saw some chick throw out a brand new like $200 Schwinn bike. Like literally threw it in the dumpster, and obviously I took it out of the dumpster and gave it to a friend of mine. But yeah, literally all it needed was the chain oiled.
Would you like
you see like perfectly good things like that thrown out.
I've
And
seen,
it's-
when I used to work at Toyota here in town, and the owners and general managers and stuff, they get me. I was like their go-to guy for like just doing random shit for them, and they have a bunch of shit they need to get rid of. Like grab a truck, bring it over, and they just be throwing out like brand new, like we got new luggage for our trip. So hey, all this old luggage that's still perfect. I got like brand new suitcases and shit that like I'd always take. They'd load it up, and I'd stop somewhere and be like, okay, all this stuff I want is going inside the truck, and then I'd back it up to the dealership and just be like, free shit, and everybody would come like fucking rooting through it.
Free shit.
And anything that wasn't like a little tiny bit that wasn't taken at the end would go in the dumpster. But
maybe they should have done that with the beer, losing 10% free beer.
Yeah. Or like one time they had me over to their place. Their one son had 3 55-gallon aquariums in his bedroom. And they wanted me to clean these aquariums. It took me like 2 whole days to fucking do it because they were so gross. And one of them didn't come clean enough for the guy's liking. So he's like, tells his wife, go to the store, my credit card, buy a new tank, and Carrie, get rid of this one. I'm like, can I have it? He's like, yeah, okay, fine. And yeah, I got a fucking 55-gallon aquarium. I sold it last winter for I think $300.
Holy shit.
Because for a while I had piranhas and stuff in it, and it was actually like, but for a long time now it's just been sitting empty. So I'm like, fuck, whatever.
Tough times. You had to eat the piranhas, eh? I get it.
No, I had 3. I had 3. Larry, Curly, and Mo.
Oh, nice.
And my roommate at the time, one of their friends had another one, and it was Shep. And Larry, Curly, and Mo killed Shep. Then Larry and Mo killed Curly. Then Mo killed Larry. And eventually I was like, fuck you, single lone piranha, and gave him back to the pet store. Like, it's so boring. I'd feed him hot dogs and stuff.
they got the order wrong because Curly died before Shemp.
Yeah,
in real life. Unfortunately.
They were close, though. I was impressed with how close they were.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, gentlemen, I got to jam out. I'm being summoned by
right.
So,
question. Do you guys have like a March Madness type of thing? Like, it's like a college basketball tournament?
No.
Oh.
No, like people here watch your March Madness thing.
I shall see you guys later. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Cheers, man.
But anyway, what I was actually going to say is that apparently Pennsylvania is doing like a March Madness thing, but with like beer. Apparently, like they have it like within like 4 different regions: Central, West.
Okay, that was interesting.
Yeah, that was.
Chet just got hit by fucking Mr. Freeze or something. Like, fraud! I don't think I've ever seen that happen in a hangout.
Notice that his loud ass fan hasn't gone off in a while. His computer probably overheated.
That could be it. Yeah, the fan burnt out. That's.
Anyways, sirs and madams that are watching.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go off the line right now because I'm gonna go do bad things to my fiance.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna do.